The National Weatherization Grant Program last year was $229 million. The state of Massachusetts, which is 6 million people, this year's allocation for weatherization is $222 million. 7 million short of what the entire national program was last year.
Private companies are already lining up around this stuff, and how...
Okay, the stimulus coming down, how do we access the money? Because one of the things that state governments in Mississippi, and probably across the country, it's a mystery how you get your money. It's a mystery. You hear about it, you know about it, and everybody's talking about how do we get the money. And here we are, we're on the other side of the equation where actual elected officials who want to do the right thing but don't know what to do, don't know where to get the money. And so we're trying to figure out, and it's a mystery to me, how do we demystify this process?
In some conversations we've had with OMB, they haven't been focused. I mean, they're so just trying to help agencies get the stimulus money out the door and providing some guidance that, you know, just in asking them questions about some of these bonds, they were actually asking back to us, what questions are you getting from state and local entities. So I do think that maybe this is something we could collectively work on.
We no longer can operate in silos. Workforce professionals need to work with economic development professionals, need to work with environmentalists, need to work with labor.
How do community organizations or people on the ground think that this money should be used?
We've fleshed out for some communities exactly how much money they're going to be getting as a result of the formula grants of this program. So basically, the purpose of this is to show funding flows from the federal level down to the state and city level. In particular, we've sort of been discussing that we're really trying to hone in on the energy efficiency and conservation block grant program, and we've kind of outlined these two key deadlines. We really have our eye on this June 25th deadline. That's the deadlines for cities to basically submit their application to the Department of Energy in order to tell them what they're planning on doing with the money.
When we started laying this stuff out, they were like, my God, nobody told us about this.
Yeah.
You know, these were city officials. So it's very word out.
We've been having this meeting of all these allies trying to do this on our own, basically. Like, printing out stuff from the website, butcher paper, like, it's been kind of ridiculous now that I see this.
I know we want to get this money out quickly, but I feel like that if it goes out so quickly that it will not be spent well, because there is such a huge education job.
And I guess my question to you all is, how much can you work with individual cities?
We actually already have the students lined up. We just don't have the money to pay them yet.
The plan is to have it open source, because on the other end of the planning grant, then there's the, you know, you say you get the money, well then what?
When this amount of money is unleashed anywhere, the potential for the money to actually further fragment the community is very real. And people have to be anchored in some vision and some ethics. And that takes a little work and a little time.
You know, I wasn't born in this country, but it almost seems like there is a particular thing going on right now that we need to sort of tap into and see the stimulus as sort of like the point that triggered these other things forward.
We're looking at ways to try to use the stimulus to advance the work that they've been doing to either generate electricity. They want to put up a windmill on the mountain near there and stop the coal mining, to do efficiency programs so that all the homes can be retrofitted and restored, or also do some model things within this small city. So there's this what would be tangible but extremely symbolic success to have this coal camp really sort of on the cutting edge of energy efficiency, renewable energy, etc. in the heart of the Central Appalachian coalfield in Harlan County, Kentucky.
We need to sort of look back into sort of like how the market has saturated like the way how we live in this country, and really be sort of like thinking about all things, because I think it's a question of values, it's a question of sustainability. When we talk about like cooperatives, we are talking also about like community control, and that's what we don't have, and we need to sort of figure out where the strategy for community control.
We're looking at really from the ground up forming the business as a cooperative, community and worker-owned business.
We need to start looking at these alternative entrepreneurship models.
Let me just tell you kind of who's in our group. We have a general contractor, a couple of engineers with some experience in green work. We have some small companies, carpenters. We have people who've worked in housing. We have a former bank guy.
And like Nelson mentioned, that we have an economist that's going to be a part of our team because they can get a lot of the data that you need. And so why would reinvent the wheel in that regards?
I think we should really be looking at other funds that we could be connecting the stimulus to, whether it's the Green Communities Act stuff in Massachusetts.
We need to leverage local media to get the information out that we're talking about here.
If we could all be linking to each other's websites.
So we're talking about ethnic press, whether it's print, electronic, cable shows, radio.
Looking at how we can operate as a decentralized structure.
No matter where somebody lands, they will get access to this whole universe of things.
Because so many people just think stimulus is done, right?
In the coming weeks when we get our proposal, if you are interested in seeing how we got our data and stuff like that, please contact us.